jobs. Here now is Riley Moore. He's West Virginia's treasurer. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. I'm surprised to hear that you guys were as shocked as the rest of the nation about Joe Manchin's turn here. Why do you think he turned around?
You know, thanks, David, for having me on. It is shocking, though. None of us had a heads up on this whatsoever. Wow. The Coal Association here in West Virginia was as shocked as anybody else, because I was at the National Coal Association meeting where I spoke and Senator Manchin spoke, and he was very clearly in support of the industry, and now this comes around. Now, to be clear, this additional excise tax that they're going to double on coal in this bill is going to add $46 million in additional taxes just to coal operators in West Virginia. I mean, that could be a killer. Yeah.
Well, you know, he claims that he got promises from various politicians. Frankly, that's an oxymoron. Promises from a politician, that doesn't really work. It's a non sequitur. But promises of new permits for pipelines, for new drilling, et cetera. You know, is the best he walked away with is just a promise from a politician?
Well, I think that's, at best, it's a promise from a politician, because the Mountain Valley Pipeline has been blocked because of lawsuits, right? So they can do whatever charades that they want to as it relates to the legislative process around the Mountain Valley Pipeline, but at the end of the day, that doesn't stop the environmentalists from suing and trying to stop this even after this bill becomes law. We're still in the exact same place we were.
Another thing that environmentalists are doing, and it's sort of in cooperation with a lot of these woke corporate boards, is preventing financing of fossil fuel projects, whatever they are, whether it's coal, nat gas, whatever it happens to be. They've been very successful at getting into the boardrooms. Frankly, it's an old theory from the Marxist textbooks of the 1940s. Infiltrate the corporations. We can destroy capitalism that way. You've got a unique way of fighting it. Explain how you're fighting that.
Yes, so we created here in West Virginia what's called the Restricted Financial Institutions List. And I administered that list, and we did a review of all of the different financial institutions we do business with in the Treasurer's office and throughout state government. And we found that we had 5 institutions that were boycotting the fossil fuel industry. And so, look, there's a clear conflict of interest here. We're not going to hand dollars over to banks that are going to try to diminish those funds that are created by the fossil fuel industry, right? We're not going to pay for our own destruction. We're not going to let them weaponize our own money against us. So 5 financial institutions have now been banned from all state contracts as it relates to banking services in West Virginia. Good news on that, though, we had issued 6 letters, and one of those banks, U.S. Bank, had actually changed their lending policy. So, look, this is a path to win. There is a way to win here.
Yeah, I love it. It's a terrific way to win. It's from the ground level. It's not a federal solution. It's a state solution. Just to show you how much money we're talking about, BlackRock alone, I'm told, just lost $700 million worth of contracts from West Virginia, Louisiana, and Arkansas. That's got to hurt them.
Oh, that's real money. I mean, we're certainly talking about real money here. And don't forget, what's exciting about this is Texas is likely going to be putting their bill out here this year. And then right behind that, you're going to have Kentucky, and you're going to have Tennessee and Oklahoma. They're also doing a restricted financial institution list as well. So, look, we're leading the charge on this. We're kind of point of the spear, but there is an army behind West Virginia.
You know, you also helped out a lot against the woke movement with the West Virginia versus EPA. The Supreme Court gave you the victory. It said the EPA can't make up legislation from a regulatory standpoint. Congress has to do that. But it seems like the Biden administration is going ahead anyway. They continue. Department of Transportation has a new rule that would seem to have been put together by Congress. It wasn't. The SEC has new regs on fossil fuels. So they're not paying attention to the Supreme Court. Are you going to sue to make sure that, if necessary, it goes to the Supreme Court again?
Well, I'll tell you, our Attorney General has been very aggressive on this. And here's the sad thing about EPA versus WV is that at the end of the day, what we found out was the Obama war on coal, where we lost thousands of jobs. We knew it was illegal. We now know for a fact it was illegal. We're never getting those jobs back. So look, here in West Virginia, we're going to continue to fight the woke agenda. We're going to fight for our jobs, and we're going to fight for energy independence in this country.
By the way, Sali Amarova is a name that people might remember. You had a little bit to do with her dropping out of her role for control of the currency, which would have affected fossil fuel contracts from the banks, right? Quickly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, she was an avowed Marxist. I mean, thank God she was not confirmed and that process did not go forward. I mean, we all have to continue to fight against this left agenda that is trying to destroy this country.
Riley Moore, Treasurer of the great state of West Virginia, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.